Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Mayor Michael P. Victorino's State of the County Address. I'm Chris Berman, ESPN, also West Side of Maui, and I'm happy to help as your Master of Ceremonies. I've gotten to know the mayor and his wife Joycelyn through the years, long ago on the West Side, I might add, and of course, covering Shane and the World Series championship season of the Phillies and other years, and world champions again with the Boston Red Sox, and got to know everybody, both on island and 5,000 miles away. My late wife, Kathy, and I started coming to Maui in the 80s, and we built a home almost 20 years ago, and are proud taxpayers and will be forever and ever. We're happy to be Kama'aina. Now, this event was pre-recorded at the Maui Preparatory Academy's Bozic Center in West Maui to comply with Maui County's public health emergency limitations on group gatherings to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Now it is my pleasure and honor to introduce Kumu Koponoai Molitau, who will offer an Olive Henna.
Na hele mau kau ka papalala tomo e tomo ko I malo ma I o hewa me o ia o no ia hele we he kana ina ya ta me hele a hele wale no we ma lo ko e ki alo hala ni e no na ta du itna hele ya la I te di ohu e daua koko na kino malu I kala ni malu e hoi e houlu mai ana o te atua I kona maukahu ma kou no e ulu dini o le alua ulu dane me dana loa ulu ohi ala udoa ta I e mai ano hoi doudua ia tau I la he o I e o la no be I o e tu e manu e alua kunei ka pule a karau kulia kalani au li ana mu ya na ue a ne hilu na da ne hilalu a kau a hema kumakani I kalani he kili ka aka ai kalani ka wilanu I make hai kalani ha nei kalani e ola ke kana kai o mai kalo e ga mana ia e ka onu ala o hala wali ka hiwai hoi ka hua ole lo eli tau mei amama wano
Tonight, it is also important that we honor our country, our state, and the biggest mahalos to our first responders who have been on the front lines in the battle against COVID-19. They were there at the beginning, and we know they'll be there at the end. Again, mahalo nui loa. The national anthem this evening will be sung by Ikaika Blackburn, Luis Pine Romero, and Jerry Pito Javier. And Hawaii Pono'i will be performed by, well, one of our island's truest treasures, Amy Hanai Ali'i.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs burst Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Aloha everyone, mahalo nui for having me. My name is Amy Hanaeli'i, and thank you for having me sing one of my favorite songs, Hawaii Ponui. Hawaii Ponui, nanahi komoi, kalani ali'i, ke ali'i. Makualani e kamehameha e na kaua e pale me ka ihe makualani e kamehameha e na kaua e pale me ka ihe. Aloha.
Amy, as always, awesome. Mahalo nui loa. Mayor Victorino would also like to thank and acknowledge our federal, our state, and all of our county partners for their assistance and support, obviously, and especially during this ongoing pandemic, starting with the leaders of our state, Governor David Ige and Lieutenant Governor Josh Green. Our United States Senators, Mazie Hirono and Brian Schatz, United States Representatives Ed Case and Kai Kahele, Senate President Ron Kochi, State Senators Roz Baker, Jay Kalani English, and Gil Agaron, Senate Ways and Means Committee Chair Donovan Dela Cruz, House Speaker Scott Saiki, House Finance Committee Chair Sylvia Luke, State Representatives Kyle Yamashita, Angus McKelvey, Justin Woodson, Troy Hashimoto, Lynn DeCoit, and Tina Wildberger. Also, our thanks to Maui County Council Chair Alice Lee, Vice Chair Kayani Rollins Fernandez, Presiding Officer Pro Tem Tasha Kama, and Council Members Yukile Sugimura, Kelly King, Mike Molina, Shane Sinensi, Tamara Paulton, and Gabe Johnson. And now it is my honor to bring forward the First Lady of Maui, Joycelyn Victorino.
Thank you, Mr. Berman, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you for serving as our Master of Ceremonies this evening. I'm here to introduce my husband, our mayor. Michael Victorino is a man who has committed his life to public service, not for fame or fortune, but simply for the love of the people of this community. His commitment to helping others began over 40 years ago when we were starting our family. Over the years, my husband has demonstrated his love for people through action, including personally helping those who are less fortunate in ways that many people don't see. He has been a great example for our two sons. He has taught them to love others, respect people, and to give until it hurts. He values hard work, self-sacrifice, forgiveness, and doing what is right. I'm so proud of him and how he has lived his commitment to the people of Maui County. Now, please join me in welcoming my husband, the man I married 45 years ago, Mayor Michael P. Victorino.
Mahalo, Joycean. That was simply great. Aloha and welcome to Maui County's first ever virtual State of the County address. I really miss being surrounded by the community and our special guests this evening. But we are living in different times when everyone's health and safety must come first. So instead of gathering for a speech this year, we have produced this video for you. I hope you enjoy it. Two years ago, I made a commitment to the Maui Preparatory Academy to utilize the Bozic Center for my State of the County address. Even with a pandemic, I fulfilled my commitment, and I want to say mahalo to Maui Preparatory Academy for allowing me to utilize this facility. Aloha and good evening. In my previous State of the County address, I said our people are our greatest asset. I asked each of you to accept the kuleana of making Maui County a better place. I asked you to volunteer for community service and to be a good steward of your environment and to give a friendly shaka to your neighbors. Our county ohana is like no other. Our values of courtesy, respect, and understanding keeps us together. Maui County is also a hardworking, productive, and successful community. When 2019 came to an end, we had closed a fiscally lucrative year. More than 3 million tourists had visited Maui, and our unemployment rate was at a record low. All economic indicators pointed to another great financially prosperous 2020. And then we got the unexpected news from Wuhan, China, that would change the whole world. It's impossible to fully appreciate the personal and community losses that the coronavirus brought to Maui County. COVID-19 prematurely took the lives of 33 of our Maui Nui ohana. It wiped out jobs, devastated businesses, separated families, and interrupted our kids' education and sports. There was no map to navigate this sudden global health crisis. But, as the saying goes, hindsight's 2020, so let's look back at the trials and triumphs of the year 2020. Crisis has a way of clarifying priorities. Immediately, I knew my first priority had to be the health and well-being of our residents. Health and well-being cannot be separated. The economy cannot function without healthy people, and residents cannot be healthy without a functioning economy. The greatest challenge during this pandemic is finding the right balance between both. When I think back to 1 year ago, it's shocking how quickly life changed. On March 6, we heard about the first presumptive case of COVID-19 in Hawaii. A Honolulu resident who had come back from a cruise had the virus. Within 2 weeks, Governor Ige mandated a 14-day quarantine for all arrivals to Hawaii, and I instituted the emergency stay-at-home order for Maui County. Knowing our people are our greatest strength, I turned to the community leaders to serve on task force for public health, commerce, safety, and social needs. I took immediate action to get emergency appropriation to help fill the needs of our community. Before the end of March, Pukulani Superette, Cisco, Hawaii, and Maui County had partnered to distribute 300 bags of food to the upcountry residents who had lost their jobs. Pukulani would be the first of many food distribution events that would feed thousands of our residents, with even more support from our local community. The sudden halt in tourism meant that crops intended for resorts and restaurants would rot in the fields. To prevent farmers from having to plow their fields under, the county quickly committed $30,000 a week to buy local produce for community distribution. The Maui County Farm Bureau and the Hawaii Farmers Union United coordinated the purchasing and distribution. Soon after, ranchers and pig farmers also provided the community with healthy sources of protein with Maui County funds. By April, Maui unemployment rate had gone from the nation's lowest at 2.1% to a nation highest at 36%. Within a matter of weeks, more than 1/3 of our workforce had lost their jobs and needed help to support their families. By April, we had allocated $3 million in general funds to establish the Hawaii Emergency Laulima Partnership, or HELP. We partnered with experienced agencies like Maui Economic Opportunity that could hit the ground running and quickly administer these funds. Money went for homes needing help with food, utilities, medical needs, and other essentials. The Maui Chamber of Commerce was given nearly $2 million. The fund went for interest-free microloans for small businesses. Later that month, the state of Hawaii received over $1 billion in Federal CARES Act funds. Governor Ige and the state legislature allocated $67 million to Maui County. We immediately put the money to work by growing the HELP program fund to $9.5 million for a financial lifeline for nearly 13,000 households. We put together more than 30 businesses and community leaders in the Mayor's Economic Recovery and Resiliency Task Force to advise us how best way to use the CARES Act funds. We embraced their advice and directed most of the relief funds to ranchers, farmers, restaurants, small businesses, charities, and our families. 6 local federal credit unions came together in the Kokua Maui County Small Business Recovery and Relief Fund. The $8 million to help to support 1,000 small businesses throughout Maui County. Halemakua stepped up to organize the new Health Cares Hui. 8 organizations came together to create new jobs, expand food deliveries, and to help the needy get medical services. The Office of Economic Development supported the popular and successful Pop-Up Makeke, an online marketplace for locally made products. We found out later that 40% of the vendor sales came from outside of Hawaii, including Japan. We also sponsored the Kupa'akako virtual Hawaiian music series, honoring the artists of our community. Maui County was the first to showcase homegrown talent on a virtual platform to share aloha and the hope of cultural expression. To encourage our local commerce, we also organized the Kama'aina First program. Residents received discounts at Maui Nui restaurants, hotels, stores, activities, and services from local businesses. Maui Memorial Medical Center, Kula, and the Lanai Community Hospital received nearly $4 million. The money was helped to create a new unit to separate COVID patients from others. We also helped subsidize PPEs, child care, and temporary housing costs for essential healthcare workers who needed it right away. Maui County also quickly responded to COVID-19 clusters throughout the county, including the remote areas of Hana, Molokai, and Lanai. In most cases, we issued regional stay-at-home orders immediately. We thoroughly disinfected all public areas and worked with the Department of Health on rapid testing and contact tracing to contain additional spread. When Lanai had its outbreak, Maui County was the first to embrace the Aloha Safe Alert app. More than 3,000 Lanaians downloaded this app to help with contact tracing. And since then, more than 350,000 downloads have been made. I would also like to thank Larry Ellison and Pulama Lanai for paying for most of their employees for 4.5 months full wages and benefits at the height of the crisis. Our county took the lead in offering free COVID testing to anyone who wanted it. Our first Pukulani food drive would grow into massive effort to prevent hunger in Maui County. More than 8 million pounds of food has been distributed by the end of the year throughout Maui Nui. Maui Food Bank, Feed My Sheep, community nonprofit, churches, businesses, social service agency, and countless volunteers made it happen. That's the kind of partnership I talk about. We deeply appreciated everyone who pitched in with their generous gifts of food, money, time, and talent. More than 1 million acts of aloha was shared on Maui, Lanai, and Molokai without any fanfare or expectation of return. Our people are indeed our greatest strength. Yet, during the global pandemic, we still had a county to run. At my second State of the County address, I committed to building a more service-oriented government. I pledged to upgrade roads, infrastructure, and develop more housing, especially affordable rentals. Also, to better manage tourism and the environment. I'm proud to say Maui County has never closed or stopped serving our citizens throughout the past year. Many of those you saw working at the food giveaways, COVID-19 testing sites, or even at the airport when visitors returned were county employees. In addition to their jobs, they volunteered to help whenever it was needed. To keep our employees and customers safe, county departments adapted their operation. To offer work-from-home options, modified workspace, and require everyone to wear face masks and to follow all health guidelines. To limit personal interaction, we moved business activities to phones and online services and even waived convenience fees. Essential county services were never interrupted, even during the stay-at-home orders. This is a testament to the commitment of our county employees during these tough times. I would love to say these tough times are behind us, but they are not yet. As we wait for our community to be fully vaccinated, the best protection to follow is all public health guidelines. Last year was challenging. However, COVID's dark clouds still had a silver lining. With tourism suspended and most residents sheltering in place, we took advantage of low traffic to accelerate infrastructure projects. Our Department of Public Works resurfaced more than 12 miles of roadway, replaced 3,611 linear feet of drain lines, and built culverts. Countywide, we installed new speed humps and built a new rock protection in Keanai. We also completed the new Highways Division base yard on Molokai. We completed the Maui Lani roundabout 5 months ahead of schedule. This eased the congestion at a very busy intersection. We made progress on the housing front as well. Our Department of Housing and Human Concern responded to emergency rental housing programs for tenants using funds from the county, state, and federal sources. Our county also oversaw the renovation of the former UH Maui College dorms in Kahului. Soon, these 12 units will become long-term affordable rentals for homeless families. We also built 23 temporary emergency pallet shelters in the Wailuku Park to house those displaced by the impacts of COVID-19. It was a collaborative effort between the Hawaii National Guard, our Department of Public Works, Maui Fire Department, and our Parks and Recreation Department that made it happen. I'm very proud to say that 290 low-cost rental units were added to the county's housing inventory last year. Many county departments have worked closely with agencies to developers and contractors to expedite the completion of rentals that tenants can afford. In December, our Department of Management and Finance completed the constructions of our new Maui County Service Center in Kahului. Our citizens now can conduct county business at a convenient, centrally located site with ample parking. Taxpayers will also save on lease rent, and the county will own an important asset for the future. The Department of Finance also successfully completed a $74 million bond float last year. In September, 3 major bond rating agencies assigned high ratings to Maui County bond float, including a AA+, the second highest rating. This qualified us for the lowest interest rate at 1.99%. Bond proceeds will fund capital improvement projects and refinance outstanding bonds at a lower interest rate. This will save county taxpayers close to $2 million. The Department of Finance also helped the county to close on the purchase of 3 properties last year. We bought the Hawaiian Telecom building in Wailuku for nearly $4 million. This is a major step forward, moving the county offices out of rental spaces to save you the taxpayer dollars. We invested $1.7 million to buy nearly 60 acres to expand our central Maui landfill. We will be able to resume composting, debris management, and plan for long-term solid waste disposal needs. We also invested $600,000 for 5 acres in Honokawai near the Lahaina wastewater reclamation facility. A solar farm on this site will generate lease income to the county. A reservoir will store treated water that can expand our recycled water distribution system. The water will irrigate agriculture, golf courses, landscaping, and a planned greenway that can be used as a fire break. Speaking of West Maui water treatment, our wastewater reclamation division finished $45 million of upgrades to the Lahaina facility as well. Meanwhile, the Department of Planning is looking into Maui's future by kicking off the Ahumano Community Corridor Master Plan project. With the support from the state, our community will help create a new vision for this important central corridor. The Planning Department is also using state CIP funds for a transit-oriented development master plan for West Maui. Now I come to our frontline heroes. I want to thank all the men and women who've worked as refuse collectors, landfill operators, park caretakers, water and sewer workers who have kept our county running. I would also thank our Maui police and fire departments who have kept us safe. Our officers and firefighters have had a front row seat to COVID-19. Last year, the fire department responded to nearly 8,000 medical calls. To the best of my knowledge, none of them have contracted COVID-19, even after helping infected people. We also welcomed 15 new firefighters and 3 new fire engines last year. Our Maui Police Department received more than 120,000 calls for services last year. They also established the Maui COVID-19 Task Force to respond to violations that generated over 50,000 follow-up calls and 278 arrests. And even though COVID-19 suspended jury trials last year, the Department of Prosecuting Attorneys still help victims of crimes by prosecuting offenders. We were honored to appoint Andrew Martin as our new prosecuting attorney. Our County Department of Transportation reported our Maui bus system had almost 1.4 million boardings last year. We broke ground on our new Central Maui Transit Hub in Kahului to connect pedestrians and cyclists with public transportation at one convenient location. When it opens, it will replace the bus stop at Queen Ahumano Shopping Center. We are also looking forward to the delivery of 10 new ADA paratransit buses during this fiscal year. Last month, we also broke ground for our new Wailuku Parking structure. It will upgrade the infrastructure and double the number of parking space stalls in Wailuku Town. Local businesses will benefit from ample parking. We also set the stage for growing arts and heritage district to revitalize Wailuku Town. With sports on hold, our Parks and Recreation Department would also repave the 51-year-old War Memorial Stadium parking lot. We also added parking stalls, raised sidewalks, and improved traffic flow. For our younger citizens, our Department of Parks and Recreation opened up playgrounds at Kula Park and Wailuku Heights to encourage outdoor fun and exercise for families. For our dogs and their owners, we also opened 2 new dog parks at Kinoleo in South Maui and the Lahaina Recreational Complex. We also recently reopened the War Memorial Stadium track for limited use by runners and walkers. Our Parks and Recreation staff members have been vital in supporting COVID-19 testing sites, community food distribution, and keeping our parks safe and clean. Our Maui Office on Aging helped our elders to endure the challenges of COVID-19. They started a new feeding program to deliver up to 220 meals a day, 7 days a week to our seniors. Kaunoa Senior Services visited elders for safety checks Monday through Friday. They delivered thousands of meals to homebound kupuna through their Meals on Wheels program. Our Energy Office and environmental programs set the foundation for a cleaner and greener future. International travelers regularly rank Maui as the world's best island. But sea level rise and environmental damage has taken its toll. Rising ocean levels are shrinking our beaches, threatening our shoreline properties, and in some locations like Pukulani, exposing Hawaiian burials. Fighting climate change requires a global effort, but there is plenty we can still do right here. In October, Maui County filed a lawsuit against 20 fossil fuel companies to recover the rising cost of climate change. We want the Maui citizens to benefit from the substantial profits. We've joined the Climate Mayors Network, added the Maui County's commitment to advance the green and equitable recovery. We also launched the Maui County Aloha Plus Challenge to learn how to reduce both energy bills and environmental impacts. The county is also researching land purchases to preserve open space and to support traditional cultural practices. This was a long but incomplete list. Maui County's accomplishments this year would have been remarkable even in the best of times. I'm very grateful for the hard work and dedication of our county employees. We are grateful to all of you for your personal sacrifices and for coming together to care for one another in the Aloha spirit. We did accomplish a lot, but there is much more to be done. COVID-19 has brought us to this crucial point. We all can agree life will never go back to normal, but together we can build a new normal. Now can be our great reset. Even before the pandemic, many Maui County families were barely making ends meet. We can change this with a long-term investment to power our local economy. COVID-19 has taught us that locally owned businesses are the foundation for a strong, resilient economy. Local transactions keeps money here in Maui County where it circulates and grows. That's why it's important to invest in homegrown companies and local talent to build an economy that works for all. So moving forward, I want the county to use more carrot and less stick to move more quickly in a direction we all need to go. So it's now time to hear from people who are working on Maui County's new normal right now. Here is Leslie Wilkins and Kauai Kulahiva from Maui Economic Development Board to talk about the role STEM in our future.
Thank you, Mayor. And also joining me today is Kawai Kulahiva Hall, who is an associate scientist at PDS, which is one of those homegrown technology companies here in the Research and Technology Park. Maui County is home to cutting-edge research in IT, in cyber, in renewable energy technologies, in astronomy and optics, biomedical engineering, and right here in the tech park, Pacific Disaster Center, which is doing GIS tracking of natural disasters, and most recently even the COVID-19 global spread. The key to continuing to grow these technologies in this company is our homegrown workforce and investing together in STEM education, not only of our young people, but also of our seasoned workforce to help them reskill with new technologies and making it equitable to all. It is my pleasure now to introduce one of our homegrown talents, and that is Kawai.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Leslie. Pacific Defense Solutions is part of the scientific research and development service industry. As an associate scientist there, I feel that my job is very rewarding because I know what I do is important. As a local-born Maui girl that graduated from Maui High School, I feel very fortunate to be able to not only have landed a career in my field, but also to be able to live that passion here on Maui, as well as to be able to raise my family here and stay on island.
COVID has taught us that remote work is a new reality, but it opens up global employment possibilities and global markets for our tech-savvy residents. It also gives us the opportunity to keep our talent pool home because they can connect with amazing opportunities staying right here, so we stop the talent brain drain. STEM is the language of innovation. It builds creative thinking, critical thinking, and problem solving. It also empowers our students and our residents with an entrepreneurial mindset, and that's what we need to grow new sectors and strengthen existing economic sectors.
Mahalo, Leslie and Kawai, for your great insights. COVID-19 has taught us that we are too dependent on faraway places for our food. With thousands of acres of productive farm and ranch land, Maui County can become the breadbasket of Hawaii. Here is Shan Susui of Maipono and Bobby Paia from Ho'alo Farms to talk about our agricultural future.
On behalf of farmers and ranchers, large and small, throughout Maui County, we'd like to just say thank you to Mayor Victorino and his administration for their continued support. As we all know, 2019 has been a very challenging year with the COVID-19 pandemic, and farmers have experienced additional challenges. However, it has highlighted the importance of Maui being able to produce and grow its own food. In 2020, during the election, we saw overwhelmingly that the people of Maui County voted to support a Department of Agriculture. That vote surely indicates their support for food security and food sustainability in Maui County. We're hopeful that as the administration moves forward, they continue to look for ways to support the local farming community while reducing much of the regulations and restrictions that present challenges.
Aloha. Aloha Maui Nui Akama. Coming to you from Wailuku, Maui. Just wanted to give a brief explanation of how our small farmers are creating a major impact on food security in Hawaii. I believe that the COVID situation has underscored the importance of not only the small farmer, but large farmers as well, because it's going to take us all together as a whole to address this food, I will call it insecurity. The small farmers need help so that we can produce the food. Let's put a underline, let's underscore the importance of supporting the small farmer, because in my opinion, the small farmer that grows food right in their backyard, whether they have a banana tree, a papaya tree, whatever, you're addressing food security, okay? Now, let's support not only the home grower, but also the entire community of farmers. Small farmers, large farmers, it's going to take us all to make food security a real issue over here in Hawaii.
Mahalo, Shan, as the county's big farmer, and Bobby for representing the families of our organic farming. Like many of you, I grew up during a simpler time in Hawaii. Working on the plantation didn't give us many choices, but the community was more resilient back then. Over the years, tourism brought us more prosperity and possibilities. And overall, I believe tourism has been a good thing, but it can become too much of a good thing. Here is Kavika Freitas to tell us about the new Maui Nui Destination Action Management Plan and the future of our hospitality industry.
Aloha. Many people, including those in the hospitality industry, feel that tourism should be controlled as we move into the future. Our new 3-year plan, called the Destination Management Action Plan, addresses some of the main concerns of over-tourism, which are excessive waste, stressed infrastructure, and our damaged natural environment. We also realize that Maui, Lanai, and Molokai are unique and should be managed individually. The focus of our plan is on stabilization, recovery, and rebuilding of the desired visitor industry for each island in Maui Nui, which can ultimately improve the quality of life for all of our residents. From the hospitality industry, we say mahalo nui loa for the Maui County's support.
Mahalo, Kavika. Those are great insights. These local business and community leaders have given us just a taste of what the new normal can be. The vision of our future is big and bold and achievable. Our biggest challenge will be balancing our short-term needs with our long-term goals. It won't be easy. Many will claim it's too hard to change. Some will even say, no can. The naysayers could learn from my dear friend Billy Kanoi. In January, Billy, who was the former mayor of Hawaii County, left us too soon, but his values live on through his favorite saying. There's no such thing as no can, always can. The only question is how can. Our people are our greatest strength. This is how can. And finally, to all of you, mahalo, aloha, and a hui ho.
Mahalo, Mayor, for sharing your time, your thoughts, and your perspective with all of us. We all hope that you enjoyed this first ever pre-recorded presentation of the State of the County Address. We'd be remiss if we didn't say that the mayor would also like to thank and to acknowledge the County of Maui directors, the deputy directors, and the members of his office of the mayor's executive teams for all, and we do mean underlined, all of their hard work during these unprecedented times. So now it's time to enjoy another Maui treasure, the music of George Kahumoku as he closes with Hawaii Aloha.
E Hawaii e kune hanaue, uho me kula imine, oli no Hawaii na punolani ono, e Hawaii. Aloha e Maui.